What is going on, Summoners? We're back here today with another Champion Deep Dive. Today, we're talking about Falcon Joaquin Torres. So, sit back and relax, because it's time to get into it. Falcon enters the contest with vampiric biology, allowing him to regenerate unnaturally. He instantly regens 40% of the damage taken during the opponent's special attacks that aren't critical hits. This scales by plus 10% flat for every special the opponent uses, up to 3 times. His fourth light attack inflicts a 12.5% debilitate debuff for 20 seconds. These are paused during the opponent's specials and max out at 2 stacks. He also doesn't gain a precision buff when using the dexterity mastery. Instead, he pauses personal trauma debuffs on the opponent for 5 seconds. This effect goes on cooldown until Falcon activates his next special attack. Now, Falcon starts each fight with his trusted sidekick Redwing at his side. Redwing swaps instincts when Falcon lands a second medium attack or after the opponent's special attack. When Redwing swaps instincts, Falcon inflicts a 40% physical vulnerability debuff for 4 seconds. This cannot be inflicted while already active. Redwing starts each fight in defensive instinct. While this is active, Falcon gains a bulwark passive, increasing his block proficiency by 35%. And when the opponent activates a special, they're inflicted with the slow debuff for 16 seconds. He also has aggressive instinct, and while the opponent is suffering from slow, it makes them more aggressive. And Falcon's attacks have a 45% chance to inflict a 5% trauma debuff for 15 seconds, maxing out at 25 stacks. While this instinct is active, dash attacks pause Falcon's slow debuff for 4 seconds. Now, he gains 1 velocity charge when the opponent is inflicted with a non-damaging debuff excluding trauma. This also happens when the opponent activates a special attack. And when reaching 10 charges, Redwing reaches peak performance. Activating a special combines the effects of both instincts for 20 seconds. While this is active, reaching max velocity refreshes the effect and re-inflicts his physical vulnerability. Now, let's dive into his special attacks. While in defensive instinct, the first hit of the special 1 inflicts a non-stacking 20% special weakness debuff for 16 seconds. If in aggressive instinct, the first hit grants a non-stacking 40% fury passive for 20 seconds, and gains 1 velocity charge. With the special 2, while in defensive instinct, he pauses all non-damaging debuffs other than stun on the opponent during and for 6 seconds after this attack. If in aggressive instinct, each hit inflicts a personal trauma debuff. The Special 3. At the end of this attack, he gains 5 velocity charges and inflicts a 2% special weakness debuff for 20 seconds. While this is active, trauma debuffs also grant velocity charges. Now, let's check out his signature ability. When awakened, after the start of each fight, he inflicts a slow debuff for up to 12 seconds. This is removed if the defensive instinct slow is activated. Additionally, the potency of his bulwark passive is increased by up to 50%. Also, his physical vulnerability debuff from swapping instincts now pauses during all special attacks. And he deals a burst of physical damage when the opponent's unstoppable or evade effects fail to trigger due to ability accuracy reduction, with a cooldown of 1 second. Now, let's see those instincts in action in the champion rotation. To begin, parry the opponent and perform light-ending combos to stack on your 2 debilitate debuffs and start building your velocity charges. Bait a special while in defensive instinct to reapply your slow, and shift to aggressive instinct. At this point, you can start inflicting your trauma. You can perform a second medium to switch back to defensive before baiting another special. And once you reach 10 velocity, use your special 2 to activate peak performance, combining both of your instincts. From here, stay aggressive and stack on all your trauma debuffs. And keep in mind, you can pause them one time between each special by dexing an attack. And once all your debuffs are built up, use your special 1 to gain your fury and burst the opponent down with your max stack of trauma. Keep in mind, his easy access to slow allows him to take care of those pesky evaders with ease. And his regen from specials combined with that bulwark passive and special weakness debuff makes him pretty tanky when you want to stay close and aggressive. And hey, those debilitate debuffs might come in handy if you find yourself fighting against any mystic champions who like to enchant you with their spells. Just remember, they max out at 2, so make sure Redwing keeps that fight on lockdown. Thank you for watching this champion deep dive for Falcon Joaquin Torres. And hey, if you liked the video and want to see more, click subscribe, like, comment, and share. And if you haven't already, join the official Marvel Contest of Champions Discord and come discuss. And remember, we'll see you in the battle realm.